Good day, Melanie, and welcome to your self-love reading. I think that's what his name. Hold on, I got the thing pulled up behind me. Yes, yes, self-love. I've been knocking down readings in my list, and every time I start like getting ready for the day to knock down the next one, I'm like, what do I have left in Melanie's order that I need to finish? So I'm working on navigating between coming back to your folder and hopping in and out because in between I get like cool little upgrades and stuff. This has been a wild, wild trip. Like, yo, what do my glasses look crazy for? Are they reflecting something wrong? I got distracted. Like, hold on. I only got these on because they're blue light. I don't actually need glasses. But there is a blue light. If you look up the way that the retinal eye works, that goes straight through your pupil when you are interacting with electronics and screens and stuff. But that's a direct route to like your central brain. And if I'm doing a job based on my brain, it's not smart for me to just have that blue beam. Look into Project Blue Beam, by the way. Going straight to the back of my cranium. So, with that being said, I started your reading when the video that was chosen for this was on 5:55. I'm going to flip my screen so I can show you what Reiki we are currently sitting through. And I'm even going to run it back so that we get the full effect in the background for the video. So, for your self-love video, I guess it's probably not hard to understand why Reiki to reclaim and strengthen your personal power was the one chosen for this, because this is about recognizing yourself in a new way so that you can move forward with confidence in that energy. So let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Let's find out what energy is in your root causing a blockage to you fully seeing your light and your potential, or turning all the darkness that has happened to you into something that was strengthening. So, looking for my dark mirror deck. Like, hold on. Are you here, babe? I think I put two decks. Hold on now. My card of decks groweth uh, at a great rate. I am proud. But times like this, I'm like, so let's just say, even though that seemed like a petty instance, in that moment, I understood that we are going to be taking inventory of Melanie because it's not something that you have been able to do before fully. Maybe you didn't have enough people to reflect back your greatness to you, or people who could even see it because they were drowning in their own darkness. But we're going to clear out the cobwebs and then shine some light in this closet for you. So let's get to this. What is the heavy pattern or blockage that is still contained in Melanie's roots? I have a root chakra frequency actually on the television. I like doing two sounds. I'm really pushing it. So, do you smoke by any chance? Because it seems like you're actually holding a lot of grief in your lungs. But grief, sadness that you couldn't share at the moment. And I'm feeling very much like you were the type of child who cared about others a lot. So you were very protective of their feelings. So if you noticed that there was a pattern in the little conversations you overheard about people being stressed about stuff, you tried to make yourself smaller to make it easier for them or be more helpful. If you saw somebody else slacking off, you would sort of pick up and try to like help, which sort of kind of developed, I don't want to say people pleasing, but you made your boundaries mutable. It wasn't always about what you wanted, but what everybody else needed because you wanted to keep the peace. And that caused this, right? A lot of heaviness that is like tar in your chest. And I found that really interesting because I was pulling for the root, right? But it's like you never placed your roots. Was the household that you grew up in not ever somewhere where you felt fully safe? Hiding your true self was the next one. When I was saying that your boundaries were mutable, I was saying that means that you move back and forth. Like what you want to say no to might become, oh, okay, all right, I guess I can do that. Because you felt like that's the only way you could be helpful. Uh, Experiencing disassociation. This is the temple of my body card, but it's for when you feel outside of your body. And that's why I'm feeling you being rootless. How is that showing up in your life? What have been the patterns with the homes that you've had thus far that you recognize as the same? Like, I know my root is like, which is why I started personally. This one was for me, I thought, sitting with the root, and maybe it's both of us. But I've moved all of my life because of my disconnected, disassociative connection to my body. That was my result. I think digging through what not ever feeling safe in your body will give you a lot of healing and closure and understanding and clarity to move forward, most importantly, on why you have not felt safe in the places that you have lived, why you have not felt, I want to say, at peace, is what I'm sensing. And then the theme card, peaceful among thorns. This is giving me a child that tries to stop parents from fighting. If you see mama crying because daddy been out all night, you're going to bring her tissue and try to tell her it'll be okay, mama. But most importantly, from what I recognized at the beginning of the reading before I pulled the cards, there was nobody to reflect back to you anything other than there was a reward for you being the person who was always there to help everybody else feel better. You gained a sense of your worth and your self-love through what you can do for others. It wasn't shown to you that any of your innate talents that you had by yourself were good enough for you to shine. It was more like, hey, I just started hearing the genie from Aladdin in my head, like, poof, what do you need? Poof, what do you need? Poof, what do you need? Right? So what is still in her shadow right now that needs to be cleared out in order for her to take back her strength and personal power? And this is the shadow work deck. Notice how she's like turning that growth into something else. Like it's becoming a whole tree of its own. But then you're gonna like water your tree and it's gonna come to life and it'll be like furniture. So battle within is the first card. And I'm gonna read it off before I tell you my like channeling. So the greatest war you wage is against yourself. Inner conflict resolution. Let me tell you, I used to have this problem all the time. Like there's a difference between what you feel you need to do for yourself and then what you feel like you have to do. I have been recently listening to hemisync videos that help your left and right brain work together, which balance your feminine, which balances. My mind channels way faster than my mouth can keep up sometimes. So I trip over words and mess them up and I'm like, so your left brain is your logical masculine side, and your right brain is your feminine creative side, your emotional side. This one is over here is the get it done, and this one is over here like, but I feel this way about getting it done. And most of the time, when they're out of sync, you just get stuck in that battle within. This look like Confederate battle because you're just gonna lose, right? The hemisync videos are available on YouTube, just like this frequency that I am listening to right now, but they help you take both in mind so that you can make a decision without fighting yourself inside about it. What I recognize so far is my heart is still there. I'm very aware of that, but I'm also like, hey, now, sometimes. And it has made my life way easier. It was so hard to go back and forth all the time, feeling like you want somebody to just make a decision for you. But that was a childhood thing too. I felt like I had to be the adult all the time as a child. And it overwhelmed me making decisions that early in my life. So as I grew up, it became battle within. What do I want to do for me? What do you do for the group? Blah, 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 blah. There was no stable root. for you to have something like, this is who I am. This, a stable root is a firm ego identity. It's the first house, the house of self, your physical body, your identity, your ego, your character story, your character molds. It is also your arsenal. The gifts and the personal plans that you have in the first house are the ones that you wanted in your top shelf. You wanted to have on hand. So I have Mercury in first. The first things people are going to notice about me is the way I speak. that's the planet I got there. In my hair. Whatever you have in your first house is your identity and who you are. You are reestablishing that also at this time, changing from the version of you that was comfortable for others, and maybe even possibly was a mirror for the neglect that happened for who you actually are. This would be like your hairstyle just became like your default hairstyle as you were doing stuff on a day-to-day basis, but you don't have a particular style that you like for yourself because you like it. You don't switch it up. You don't like, there's not a sense of self. There's a sense of survival self, right? That comes along with this battle within. It's very hard to establish who you are, let alone thrive or build that persona when you're fighting with two different sides of it. So the next one is having hope. Is there some pessimism going on over there? Well, that's because you've been dealing with this since you were a child, just carrying that sadness with you. So when you feel like that, it's hard for you to believe that there will be a silver lining sometimes. Like you keep reaching for it, but part of you, that gunk, is right there. So this is the having hope. Navigate your shadows with compassion and gentleness, grace, kindness, and self-care. The reason why stuff was the way it was before we're having this conversation is because you were unaware of what was going on internally. Most people don't recognize, although they say, oh, my childhood, that was pretty fucked up. They don't recognize that the energy from all the times they didn't cry when they wanted to cry is still inside of them. So when I asked if you were a smoker, it's because when you have grief, it's stored in your lungs. And most people who had unprocessed grief end up smoking or getting into vaping or something like that just to make that feel better. So starting to pour new water into your empty cup. Positive words, speaking those things over yourself. So when we get to the lighter part of this reading, I'm going to be giving you some mantras and some words that are going to be good for you. So the next one that I'm going to put on, or maybe I'll let it choose for me, because the magnetics have been crazy lately. So if you ever wondered how your synchronicities work and how you see 222 some days and 1111 the other days, it's because your body has a certain magnet that is connected to your vibration, right? Everything that you pull towards you on that particular day is connected to your electromagnetic field in your aura. So when I pull these cards and I'm like, hey, what is this? Or I say, it looks like you had a rough childhood, blah, 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 blah. And then we pulled out the card, wounded inner child or wounded healer or something like that, right? It's because my field was set to that part of your energy. The same thing happens when you're doing YouTube videos or when you're on your device and you're like, how did the damn thing know what I was thinking? I didn't Google that. It's because you have an electromagnetic field, which is controlled by your brain, electrons, neurons, and all that stuff, consistently firing off, magnetizing stuff to you. So this Reiki video that got picked automatically, return to wholeness relative to love, romance, intimacy, and belonging. Also, your root. So the next card we had on here was shedding illusions. The first step is awareness. Like I was saying, you just needed to know all of this so you can start to process it differently. Some of yourself was having guilt because you felt like, oh, I should be moving along faster than this. Oh, things should be better. Like just with you and yourself, I'm feeling like, I don't even know if this is so much a reflection of outside of you, of your life, of your, how you make money and all that stuff. It feels like you inside feeling like you're beating yourself up a lot. But the second step is acceptance, reality, honesty, and what's the theme of this reading, baby? Focus. It is trying to be a hater. I ain't gonna show my double chin like that. It said self-love, but I guess we both will. Self-love. The honest thing you need to know right now when shedding illusions unmasking truth is that the people around you weren't equipped for you. They couldn't see you. They did not build you up because they needed to be built up themselves. And so for that, they took some of your energy. The illusion you're shedding is about everything that you are right now. Stripped ego death. You are not who you thought you were. That's why you're going to be returning to wholeness. This also has been affecting your love and your relationships. You've been attracting people who are coming for that heaviness in your chest, as opposed to people who would come towards you once that heaviness in your chest got transmuted into more power in your aura. So you know how I was just explaining your electromagnetism, right? Go like this right there. Rock with me for a second. You know how you do this, and then you pull your hands away, and you can feel that tingling in there. That's called your kinetic energy. That's your energy in motion. So when you have a whole bunch of that energy clogged up, your magnet ain't really pulling in nothing. You know how you see like static before your eyes if you push your hands against your eyes, or even if you're in the dark, you see those little dots? Picture that as your kinetic energy. It's like you have a field of a bunch of dots around you that can pull if they're really strong, or they can just like be there and like, what's the thing? Like repel because they're weak, right? The more that you burn away this energy from dark into light, you get more of those little static pieces. It's like your aura gets stronger, but it's like what I'm seeing is glitter. I guess you would say it looks like glitter in the astral. Your glitter, your shine. Oh, right there in front of me. You see that around him? Like your aura starts shining like that. So you start pulling more stuff to you, but it's actually because your energy is now in motion after it's being clogged, or it's been clogged for so long. That's creepy as shit. I just realized the unmasking truth card. Look at my glasses. Clock it. That's my new phrase for the word the kids taught me. So unmasking truth. I am unmasking truth right now. There goes to show that electromagnetism thing. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to know. Self-examining and revelation. I love this job. Every day I come to this computer, I'm like, it's like the Barney bag. Like I never know what I'm gonna find today. Maybe some old string. I love Barney. But I never know what's gonna come here. But I'm always gonna be amazed. I'm always gonna be like, yeah, you really was up there the whole time. It was touch and go. It was touch and go, but you've been there. So what does Melanie need to help her on her healing journey at this time? What does she need on her healing journey to step into this self-love? You need to put some boundaries up. Didn't I say yours were mutable? Look at that, water. Put some boundaries up between you and those family members if they are still feeding off of you, or even the partners that you have, because it felt like it might have transcended into the family you created for yourself in some way. Is that a baby daddy? I don't know. Next, didn't I say that child thing was going to come up? But this says discover your own creativity. And I'm going to read this one off. One of the ways the divine wants to connect with you, is through creative expression. It gets you out of your busy mind to feel, listen, and know how best to flow the energy through you. This is to unblock your thing. You're being called to tap into your creative side, to reconnect and discover many talents. Be open to the process and let it flow without judging yourself. Next, take a leap. This is the second courage card. I didn't mention it in the other one because I'm like, but take some risk. Be brave. Do some things outside your comfort zone, because your comfort zone has been fake. It's been a mask. It's been a cage, actually. It's not a comfort zone. It's like a cage that you have sort of put like a nice pallet in, and you got used to sleeping in it all the time, so much so that you forgot you were captive in the first place, and now the door is finally open and you won't leave because you have your cage. But baby, you're being asked to jump because you have been moving like a turtle, inflexible to change. You've been afraid of making things better for yourself. But there's a whole soul family waiting for you, and a new love life and finances. That video, and hold on, I guess I should have showed you. There's a whole nother family. I mean, a whole nother family dynamic that doesn't say, doesn't say protection needed. Look, this one over here, you notice how she sort of guarded with the child? Like she's taking him to go see his daddy. Like, I'm over here. I don't fuck with him like that. As opposed to over here where it says soul family strengthened. Their heads are together here. They cool. That's their baby. He's actually holding the baby now. So the one after that was passion ignited, desire. That's burning all that old stuff away in order to bring about this is abundance. Like, come on, show up. The video that it went to was Reiki to return to wholeness relative to love, romance, intimacy, and belonging. This is you finally getting comfortable in your body, changing the effects of disassociation, it feels like, and then you'll be replanting your root for stuff to grow. So now we're getting to the light work part. Okay. Now I gotta gas you up and tell you about you because it looks like a lot of your life, nobody's actually been aware of you. It's like you've been the angel, right? And you've been doing angel missions, not necessarily anybody else's, or a lot of people who've been there for a long term who are invested in helping you become your best self. So I'm about to give you you is kind, you is loyal, like this, a really nice the help moment to gas you up about you. So what parts of Melanie does she need to recognize that she has not been embracing? What life attributes? Is smart, you is kind. You are someone who is meant to work on your creativity in peace. You are a great mediator. This is why so many people want you around. You always make stuff work. You are great at strategy. You are compassionate. Like the way you hear people and you make them feel seen and heard. You do that in the way that you actually want to be seen and heard. And you didn't do it that way. Like, I wish somebody would hear me like this, so let me be a good person. No, it's just who you are. And you do it for everybody. It says a gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, a respect for both sides of the argument. That might mean something to you too. But you are a bridge between where people were and where they could be. Sometimes your advice is the thing that makes or breaks somebody. So you got this hermit over here, right? But this is somebody who thrives in peace. You don't necessarily need other people to make you happy, which is another way you know that you're not a vampire. Vampires require other people, right? Fairies or angelics or people who are in that energy actually require the opposite, which is time alone to recharge. And in this case, it says your solitude purposely is to cultivate your inner life so that that is your actual home and your actual like garden inside, right? But it serves your personal creativity. So there is going to be a creative endeavor that you need to be working on. And I'm saying that because this was also there with that completely separate hermit thing. It feels like, because we saw the children playing with clay in the other one, that once you step outside your box or move whoever is stopping you from trying these new things away from you, that you'll start exploring the stuff that you should have been able to do as a child that you couldn't do because of your circumstances. I don't know if there were some money issues or something, but it's like you were supposed to go try dance. You were supposed to go try art. You were supposed to do certain things. And then you would have discovered that there was a great talent for you in there. You're actually multi-talented in the artistic field. This is a dilettante, right? Delights in arts without having to be professional. Alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuit. So you're going to be doing these things to express feelings. So imagine that you feel angry that day, right? Let me fix this. And you're like, I need to paint. Doesn't matter if you don't know how to paint, but you're just like, this is what I need to do to feel better. And then you discover, hold on, you do some cool splatter stuff that you've never seen before, but it ends up being like this beautiful montage and you can feel the energy in it. And then when other people just happen to come by and they see your work, they're like, hold on, what is that? And you're like, that's my painting. You're going to finally be seen for the stuff that you came to be seen for. It's like your whole childhood, you didn't even know that this was something in there. And your life has sort of been you just making it in between because you didn't know what your actual talent or you didn't go towards the lane that you came to do in the first place. So when did you have your North Node return? Something important is returning for you because this is like a purpose return. The next video that I'm on now, Reiki for attracting aligned and fulfilling work and career effortlessly. So detective and scribe are here now, right? But I feel like the detective is you, like digging through you, finding out new things about you, finding out new arts. Like this is you taking a pottery class. This is you going to a spin class. You trying Zumba. You just trying all the things to find out what do I actually like, because I've been operating in not only survival mode, but trying mode. And trying really wasn't just doing it. Now you just need to feel and find things to get that energy that was stuck in you out. You need to feel alive, is what I'm getting, which is why the scribe is here too. You're going to write a lot more based upon what you discover about yourself. Something about writing out your feelings and your new discoveries is going to be very cathartic for you. It's a way to get that heavy energy that is in your chest out, because then the doors open for a romance that is blossoming. Now, every time I try to say, I don't know if this is somebody you're with and you're going to make it work, or it's somebody new. But when I go to say if it's somebody with, I feel icky. I feel like you don't even want somebody that you're already with, because so much has transpired. Uh, Either way, I just know that when you are fully thriving in this new flow, when you found your creativity, you have a new schedule that includes equal parts of helping other people with doing what you have to do, and then time that's for you doing things that you love, or time for you to discover what it is you love, because that's important. Just opening the door for that to be a time. It might be hiking, it could be dancing, it could be anything, but you're going to try everything. That's the important part. You are on a self-discovery journey, because yourself has been like a turtle in the shell the whole time. So what encouraging message do I need to close this with? Besides the fact that you learning this new skill can lead you into a career that makes the money that you want unexpectedly, because it's a talent that you didn't even know was going to do anything for you. Might be passive income, side income, but either way, it's going to make your life way more comfy. So we are closing with, have compassion for yourself, but also behold the divine in others. And this is a picture of a lady with a cat. Do you need a cat? Do you have a familiar? Uh, See beyond the behaviors of others. Resist trying to analyze a person's character. See them through the eyes of love and witness them with acceptance. So in this case, sometimes with the people that you need to help, you end up throwing yourself fully in trying to help them. You're learning to be a compassionate witness, which is where you hold space and you're very kind and you say what you need to say, but you don't throw yourself in. You don't throw your whole life off trying to save somebody else or jumping into the water where somebody else was failing. Instead, you call for backup and give them a raft, as opposed to you jumping in the water trying to push them out and then suddenly you're drowning. That's what's been happening before. So express love, share love generously. How do you show your appreciation? Discover new ways of expressing your love and new people to share your admiration with. Expressing love, this is with like your children and stuff like that, right? But or your child. But this is like express love in your life. Cook things you love. Do things you love. Watch things you love. Eat things you love. Everything you need to do needs to be an expression of what you love. You have been doing entirely too many things because you felt like they were your duty and putting yourself aside. Where you want to go forward, you can't go doing the same things you did before. The version of you that was suffering in your life will not make it through the Bob check into the heaven that you are creating for yourself. On the other side, didn't I say the healed version of you doesn't align with the version of you that is still in the mask? And that healed version of you is the one that is leading you up the path. You are working into that. Realign with your spirit. Refocus on your spiritual life and actively connect with the divine. You do that through art. That is crown energy. Honoring your true self allows you to get back in sync with your highest good. I couldn't make that up. And then the theme, here we go. Didn't I say something about writing? There might be something that comes up the journals that you put out. Imagine making a book based upon the pivotal thoughts you had going through your healing journey, and that becoming a self-help book for other people. And it was just you writing out your thoughts and your epiphanies. Anything can happen. Open the door and be amazed, because you are attracting something else that is going to make your life so much better. And all you got to do is say, I accept. Stories. Question the narrative. Consider the stories that you believe about your life, about yourself, or about others. Replace these stories with eternal truths. What are eternal truths? Things that you can't deny. So if you go to sing and you hear a canary come out your throat, if you were suddenly out there like, ah, okay, like a Disney princess, that is an undeniable truth that you got the voice that calls the birds and you are a singer, okay? What are the things about you that you can't deny because they snuck up on you like, dang, I know that was a talent, but it's irrefutable. You need to find that within you because you is kind and patient and talented. And most of all, you are deserving and worthy of the life that you've been daydreaming about in your head, love. So have a good day.